Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Young Black. I'm gonna make a quick video right now. It's kind of a sad day for me anyway. I woke up this morning and I didn't know last night because I actually did do a little bit of sleeping. I woke up and I started chilling with one of my homies, and he was telling me like, yeah, Paul, somebody died today, a celebrity, and I didn't know who it was. So I didn't know who he was talking about or nothing. So we ended up going to the deli to buy a blunt, to buy a wrap or whatever, and some other shit. And I ended up finding out that it was Paul Walker, yo. And I can't believe that Paul Walker is dead. Um, if you like me, who grew up in the 2000s and the late 90s, the Fast and the Furious movies were very iconic to the underground. If I say again, that's my thing with the ums. But it was very iconic to the underground car culture. And it wasn't that much stuff in the industry, and any industry at all, that talked too much, except for like maybe racing magazines and fan-based websites that talked a lot about the underground car culture. Street racing and car modifications and the way they go about getting their money and that type of stuff. They didn't talk about it too much. Not in anything that I ever seen. So I was introduced to the tuner car, the Japanese tuner car scene and street racing by the Fast and the Furious, as well as a lot of you guys probably was. So to me, that was revolutionary movie-wise, because that subculture was never explored in movies before, and it was Vin Diesel and Paul Walker that were the main guys in the first movie, that did that. So to me, it was a huge thing. I love the Fast and the Furious movies. I never was really a car person until I seen those movies, and it gave me a more of a respect for cars. Like still to this day, I don't even have a driver's license. I don't drive a car. I don't have the patience for insurance and paying that shit every month. And I don't go nowhere really like that. I don't have a million friends. It's just me, my wife, and my kids. My parents live a block away from me, so I really don't have to go that far to do anything. So I don't really need no car. And I live in Long Island. I could actually walk to the mall in 45 minutes. But so a car never really appealed to me. So I never really had that much interest in cars. But Fast and the Furious, they made the cars look so more interesting and cool. They put a dramatic, subculture gangster type storyline around the movie, and the characters were interesting. Vin Diesel was a dark, interesting character, and Paul Walker riding the edge of the razor blade, being an undercover cop, and and still trying to, he's still related to the other side, to the characters he was trying to chase in the first movie. It was just a good flick, and I enjoyed it when I was younger. And it introduced the the underground racing scene to all of us. To a lot of people who didn't know that this world even existed the way that they explained it. It was over dramatized, but it still brought attention to something that a lot of people had no idea even existed. Including me, until they made those movies. And then on top of that, the Fast and the Furious movies also have a lot to do with the relationship between movies and gaming too. Just for the simple fact that when before those movies came out, there was a lot of racing games that was just, a regular racing game. Need for Speed, it actually emulated a lot of the Fast and the Furious movies, because Need for Speed actually made a racing game with a storyline, which was, to me anyway, was an imitation of the Fast and the Furious movies. They saw those movies and how popular they were, and how much of an international explosion they were, and they emulated that in their games. They make a racing game with a story-driven element to it. They got that from Fast and the Furious, whether they wanna say that they did or not. That's where it came from. So I just wanted to make a video to, R.I.P. Paul Walker. Me and my girl are sitting here. We actually watching The Skulls right now on Netflix. Paul Walker's in The Skulls. If you guys are movie fans, the original, not The Skulls 2, 3, the original The Skulls movie. Paul Walker's in there with the guy from Fringe and Dawson's Creek. So it's just crazy that he's gone. I can't believe that. R.I.P. Paul Walker. God bless his family and good wishes and all of that. You know, as you see, I don't put my Christmas tree up. This is like the worst time of the year for somebody to pass away. He got family and that. It's just horrible, you know. And he's been a big part of a lot of people's lives all over the world. I'm in the middle of the hood, and I respect Paul Walker just because he brought a interest to me that I never knew I would have even had until they branded that movie like that. And his character, the way he presented himself in the movie, you know, it made me watch other movies with Paul Walker in it. He's in The Skulls. He's also in Timeline, which he was really young in Timeline. But it was an okay movie. Timeline was.
She's all about that.
Yeah, she's all about. No, isn't she all about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all about that with Little Kim. That's right. He's in that too. You know, so we ain't huge Paul Walker fans, but when you realize somebody is gone, you start realizing how much of an impact they had in some of the, you know, things that you've seen in your life. You know, I mean, entertainment wise, it's not a huge thing, but at the same time, I respect him for what he did. Just being able to watch him on TV to pass some time for me, that it helped. You know, so you know, R.I.P. Paul Walker.
She's all that. Excuse me. She's all that.
And she's all that. That's the name of it. That's the name of the movie. You know what I mean? You know,
Little Kim, come on.
I'm having a I'm toasting my homie up. Like I'm having a drink, I'm smoking, I'm chilling. You know, I'm really like bigging it up right now for him. You know, rest in peace to the homie. I mean, it's just crazy that he's gone. And as a dedication to him, because I don't have none of the Fast and Furious movies in my Blu-ray collection, which is freaking huge right now. Tomorrow I'm gonna go buy all the Fast and the Furious movies, everyone that I could find on Blu-ray. I'm gonna get tomorrow, which is probably gonna be everyone they have that's made so far. I'm gonna go buy tomorrow. You know, just out of dedication to that movie franchise and to Paul Walker. You know, so R.I.P. Paul Walker. Um, Blessings to his family and everything. Real gamers stand up, man. It's just a sad day for not the movie industry and the gaming industry and the racing culture. Everybody, you know. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.